Hi, and welcome to another episode of Mr. Albert's Class on YouTube. So grab your notebook and some popcorn, because today we're going to talk about... Alright, so that, Thomas Jefferson and Declaration of Independence, big fancy words, long sentences, might be a little bit hard to follow and see these appeals that we've been talking about. So let's take a quick look at a couple of commercials. Those are like really little mini persuasive documents. And so because they're so small, you don't always have a lot of room for all the different appeals, but if they're done well, they will have elements of each. All right, so first off, check out the original Isaiah Mustafa Old Spice commercial.
Hello, ladies. Look at your man. Now back to me. Now back at your man. Now back to me. Sadly, he isn't me. But if he stopped using lady-scented body wash and switched to Old Spice, he could smell like he's me. Look down. Back up. Where are you? You're on a boat with the man your man could smell like. What's in your hand? Back at me. I have it. It's an oyster with 2 tickets to that thing you love. Look again. The tickets are now diamond. Anything is possible when your man smells like Old Spice and not a lady. I'm on a horse.
I was actually sitting on the couch with my wife the first time I saw this, and it came on TV. And we're sitting here, and then he's like, "Look at your man." She looks over, looks back up there, like we totally did that back and forth thing, and it was hilarious, but and so that we sometimes forget that humor is an emotion. This is appealing to emotions, pathos. All right, and so a lot of times and of course the sex appeal there, so I can't deny that, right? Is also part of pathos. It's brilliant in that respect, right? Because it was funny and new and different. But also because they had to rebrand this thing, right? Old Spice is old. It's been around forever, right? I mean, I was using it in the 90s and it was old then. And it was went back and back and back. And even if you look at it, you look at the image of it, it's kind of like the old ship and everything. And the font is old. And so they had to update it. And that's what they did. But then audience is another thing here, right? Just like Jefferson had to think about his audience and, particularly his educated audience who were products of the age of reason. Yet some of them also had, ties to England and many of them had ties to the church. So he had to put in allusions to address that. Here, right, we're in this age where once upon a time, these sorts of commercials were geared towards women because they did the shopping. But then that's kind of demeaning and not good. And so, and this is a men's product, of course. And so it's like, well, who do you really appeal to? Who's being appealed to here? And so it addresses that with humor, which is a smart way to do it. And it really kind of addresses both. He says he's addressing it to ladies, like your man could smell like me and be like me. But it's really just men too. It's like, ooh, if I could look like that and be funny, yeah. So this was just absolutely brilliant. I love it. I think it's one of the best commercials ever. They built on this with like Terry Crews and stuff like that for 10 years. Here's one with Kevin Hart.
Right back. We are getting killed out there. We're getting outplayed, out-rebounded, out-coached.
Wait a second. We have a coach?
No, we don't have a coach. Coaches are unnecessary. I'm a leader. I'm a man that simply gets it done. Which is why I want to ask you, what can we do?
You simply get it done, but you asking me.
I'm not asking you nothing. I'm asking the Old Spice you. What can we do?
Come on, Kev.
Ain't nobody in here but us.
I ain't gonna do it.
Come on, just do it.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Hey, hello, Kevin. Look at Kevin. Now back to me. Now back at Kevin. Now back to me. Sadly, he isn't me. Am I on a horse? Not this time. You need to step up your defense.
I put the D and the E in D. I get it. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. Give it to me.
Look, man, I'm not talking about your defense. I'm talking about your sweat defense.
Sweat defense? I'm not even sweating like that.
The whole team is slipping all over the puddles you're leaving all on the floor.
Nobody leaving no puddles on the floor.
You are literally standing in a puddle of sweat right now.
What are you talking about? Whoa. Well, hello. Okay.
Don't worry, Kevin. I brought you Old Spice Sweat Defense Antiperspirant Spray. It goes on invisible and provides 48 hours of sweat and odor protection. And when you raise your arms, this happens.
Oh, I got to try that. Let me try it.
And so, using celebrity endorsement right, as a sort of an appeal to authority. Now, I wouldn't think that Kevin Hart would be like an authority on body odor, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I really met him in person. But the fact that he's familiar and, you know, he's funny, and, you know, he often makes fun of his height and physical prowess. He's actually quite fit, but, you know, small. All that plays into this, you know, and again, the audience, right? It's a bunch of old, not that always in that great a shape guys trying to play basketball or whatever they're doing. At any rate, it's building on the same thing. It's adding humor. It's adding this appeal to pseudo appeal to authority. Now, you know, where does logos come in, right? It's hard to build that in, and so a lot of times we get this sort of like false logos in commercials. And so there was this slogan way back for Secret.
Nervous?
It's just a reunion.
Uh-huh.
It's no big deal. We were just good friends.
Right. So why the new dress?
Well...
And why this special antiperspirant?
Secret? Because it works.
Honey, it's strong enough for a man.
Uh-huh. But pH balanced for a woman.
pH balanced for a woman, right? Strong enough for a man, but pH balanced for a woman. And so there's just that phrase, pH balanced. And now, like, you go and look out, it's like pH water and all this other stuff. Like, it sounds scientific. And so it sounds logical. It sounds like this is, you know, exactly what I need. But when you stop and think about it, what does that even mean? pH balanced? Do we even understand it really? Like chances are a lot of us think that a higher pH means it's more acidic. How many of us know that? Like, well, water is a pH of 7. But you hear pH like, oh, scientists know about that stuff. And I don't have to know about that stuff because those people do. And therefore, like, some smart person made this. It must be good for me. Right? And so they're trying to use logos there. The water's doing that. Secret antiperspirants do that. And then, you know, Old Spice, I think, is making fun of it. How can you quantify claims over deodorant, right? That doesn't stop you from sweating. That it's going to get rid of that puddle under Kevin Hart there. Right? So they're exaggerating. They're using hyperbole. In all these commercials, they always try to make the woman look like she was like a businesswoman and got a lot of stress and stuff like that. So and that kind of creates her authority. Why she can say that she needs such a strong deodorant, and that it is in fact strong, yet it's also always a woman who's still very feminine looking, and that was the idea, right? So it smells feminine, yet is strong, and so that was where they rolled in some other appeals besides logos. All right, so advertisements, right, will do the best that they can to use all these different appeals. Most often it is pathos because it's a short argument and it has to be memorable, and you know, humor and sex appeal are the easiest ways to do that. If they can get in there, like the 4 out of 5 dentists.
4 out of 5 dentists surveyed would recommend Trident to their patients who chew gum.
Or pH balanced, or, you know, then that really helps us at least think it's got some logos in there, and some research has gone into the product, even if we don't understand it all. So these things that we're talking about with these, you know, foundational documents, the Declaration of Independence, stuff like that, they're still at work today. We're still always, everything is an argument today. Whether it's which deodorant you should buy, or which restaurant to go to, or, you know, what, you know, which team is going to win the Super Bowl, whatever, like, if any of these things even happen. Like, it's, everything is an argument. And so, you know, that we try to put all these elements together and all these appeals, and we use illusions. I'm putting this out there, like, eventually you guys will have an assignment where you get to analyze an argument, which could be in the newspaper, it could be in an advertisement, it could be in a picture of some sort. And you'll also have an assignment later on where you will create some sort of argument. Again, that could be a written argument, it could be a visual argument, and so forth. But I want you guys to start thinking about these things. So they're all around you every day. And once again, if you made it this far, I appreciate you. I know these aren't the best, most fun things ever. All right, that's enough. Back to your Xbox.